Hey, I'm Louie. A couple months ago, my mom and I and our two dogs, Lady and William, arrived on an island in Southeast Alaska. We had never been to Alaska, and after traveling almost the entirety of the US, we decided that there was no better place to own property. After a bunch of research, we settled on a 3-acre plot of land and bought it sight unseen. As you may know, winter is approaching us, and living in vehicles was not going to cut it for the cold season, so we are renting out a cabin, while we wait on building a driveway to access and live on our new property next year. We're so excited to spend our first winter getting to know the people and the land in our new home, and share it all with you. So don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to find out if we make it through our first cold, dark Alaskan winter.
Winter is coming.
I just woke up, y'all, and I'm so happy that it is raining today. The vibe is just not right if it's not raining here, but I do have some with everyone. And my beef, I mean very low-key beef. I feel like recently over on my TikTok, on my Instagram, on YouTube, so many people have been messaging like, what are you doing for winter? What are you doing for winter? Watch out, you have to wait for winter. Winter is coming. What are you gonna do? Oh my god, winter. And I think people don't realize that Southeast Alaska is very different from mainland up north. Like, I keep having to explain to people over and over again that Southeast Alaska is way more mild than, say, if you were living under the Arctic Circle in Fairbanks or something. I've even gotten messages, people being like, watch out for negative 70-degree weather, and I'm like, no, that doesn't happen here. I may be new here, but I do my research. I do look at weather patterns and read weather resources and things like that, and the average temperature for this part of Alaska during the winter is the mid-20s degrees Fahrenheit. So when everybody's freaking out about it, what they don't realize is that Southeast Alaska is very rainy more than anything. It does snow here. It gets really icy and wet, but only really in the months of December and January is when it's the highest, in parts of February. But for the majority of it, it looks like this. It's cloudy and rainy for the majority of the year. I'll show you the forecast for the next 10 days. That's what it looks like, and we are at the end of September. The two rainiest months are September and October here, and then the rain turns into more snow. So it does snow here, but it's really not that bad. The real problem that you have to be thinking about while living in Southeast Alaska is rain. Everything is so wet here. So I just wanted to clear that up because I keep getting comments, and I don't know if it's people just trying to scare us out of our situation, which is not going to happen because we're here for good. I do appreciate the concern. We specifically chose this part of Alaska because it's to me, it's Alaska light. You still get a lot of the weather, you still have a lot of the harsh nature and all that, but it's not up further north. So in order to be able to survive here in the rain, there's a couple things you need. You need really good rain boots, really good rain jacket. We haven't gotten these yet, but really good rain pants. I've been seeing everybody wear those around lately, and I'm like, wow, I really do need a pair of those. And if you feel like it, a rain hat. I really want to get a rain hat. I feel like a rain hat would be really cool. But if you have rain boots and a good rain jacket, and you layer that with a nice cozy sweater, oh, you're set. You can do anything in the rain. You can go for walks, you can build stuff. You just go about your life. That's how people treat it here. It's just a little bit of rain. A little rain doesn't ruin the parade here. That's for sure. So then some of you are probably like, Louie, well, you're gonna get depressed this winter. You're gonna be really depressed because it's always cloudy here. And let me tell you, I did have a little stint of time there. It was a 3-day period where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy some vitamin D. We're gonna get our sunlight set up and sun lamp set up. And now I feel great. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh yes, it's raining. Yes, it's a rainy day. It's just the right vibe. Things that you really need to do in order to stay mentally healthy here during all of this rain is to find a good high quality vitamin D. I don't know how much truth is rings, but if it's a placebo, I'm okay with that. It works. I've been taking it for about a week now and I feel great. Go for lots of walks, even if it's raining. Go for walks, enjoy it, be outside. Nature just feels different when it's really rainy and the things are wet and I just love rain walks. We've been reading lots of good books, doing lots of research for the property. Reading and stimulating your mind is important. Been watching some good TV shows as well. I think that there's nothing wrong with watching a good TV show here and there. Keeping your space clean as well as eating really good food is important. I've also noticed that like people really like their candy here. It's kind of like in the Nordic countries. I was noticing people are like that too. They really like their candy, and I can understand why. It's like a hit of dopamine when you eat candy. So just eating healthy and good food is also really important, I'm finding. She doesn't even care. Blah, blah, blah. I just love cooking. Can't let those go to waste. Alright everybody, I am going to be showing you guys my house plans so far. I am not a very great architect. And this is all stuff I'm just learning. I've built out 2 vans now, but I'm learning how to basically lay out floor plans and foundational plans and draw cross sections and elevations and all of that stuff, so don't really know what I'm doing. But I do want to show you what I've been working on so far, like kind of what the process is like. And I feel like for a lot of people who haven't built something before would be going through a very similar process. Right now I'm reading this book called The Independent Builder by Sam Clark. He takes kind of an unconventional approach to building houses and gives you a lot of information. It's like basically all the stuff you need to know that isn't like basic stuff, like what you could find in this house building book. So I want to show you guys what I have. Please don't be mean to me. I'm still figuring out. This is like me like a few days in of building, and I will have better plans and things to show later. This is my complicated map of all the trees that surround the house. I still need to take these measurements again and make sure they're all accurate. So D stands for dead tree. And then all the rest are the trees. This dead tree here, D3 in the middle, I'm probably going to remove. And then that leaves me all of this space here to have a house, which is about a 20 by 20 foot dimension. And then everything around it will be, like up here will be a deck, and then back here will be also a deck that leads to stairs that comes around the corner right here. So then that has sort of evolved into this little design. Don't make fun of my lack of ability to draw square things, but this would be that here, which would then be anchored by a tree. And then this would be part of the house. This would be 2 floors. So this would be around up here, be the 2nd floor. It'd be room here, room here. This is the main living space. Over here is the kitchen. So I'll show you the layout. This is not at all done professionally. This is really just my doodles at the moment. So 20 feet by 20 feet, you come in through here off the deck into a mudroom, which goes under the stairs. There's a door. And then over here is a bathroom. Haven't quite figured out where I would want the door. Maybe through the mudroom. That looks like a toilet. That's supposed to be gone and be over there. The kitchen would be here with the dining area here, the living area, and then a deck, which I do want to have some sort of like greenhouse glass type of situation. This would be all covered. It'd be like an outdoor living space that would be extra. So then today that has evolved into this. Oh, by the way, each of the squares on here accounts for 1 square foot. And then this evolved, I don't know if you can see it, into this. This is the little house. Like, don't make fun of my drawings, but this is what the house would look like, basically. I would be partially on stilts and then also anchored to trees around. I haven't figured out the foundational level yet. But then here's a cross section of the house. You know, this is just kind of an idea of what it would be. About 10 feet high here. And then it would be 10 feet at the top of the gable roof and then 6 feet at the lower end of the gable roof. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore this. I really need to draw out this better, but basically the stair placement is moved. The stair placement on this is moved, but there'd be 2 little bed loft areas that you could sleep in. Yeah, that's what I have so far. Like, I don't know, part of me feels really confident that I could design a house that works, but then part of me is also like, do I want to go through all the effort of trying to figure that all out and drawing it all out? Part of me is like, yes, that'd be really awesome because I could get exactly what I want. Or should I just save myself the pain of having to design a whole house, like the plumbing layout, the electrical layout, all of the, I would have to do the foundation no matter what. So that would be one struggle bus that I would have to figure out probably on my own anyways. Yeah, but do I really want to have to do all of that? And then I also have to figure out like materials. Like, I really don't know much about like I don't know about the materials that are available in this region that well yet. And I also don't really know a lot about like large dimensional lumber. I've only worked with like plywoods and small 2x4s and things like that for fans. So I don't know if it's worth it or not. And then part of me is like, also like, if I do go ahead and just build this house based off of a plan, that would give me so much more experience, and then I could help my mom build her house exactly to the dimensions and everything that she wants, as well as like any other little tiny cabins. But then, and then this brings up another issue. I don't know if this is interesting to you guys at all, but this also brings up another issue, is that if the plans are done, if the plans are designed by just a regular old person, average person like me, I am not a certified structural engineer. I might still have to get them written off by a structural engineer or like signed by a structural engineer anyways, so then that would cost money. And then if I do plans, then they're more than likely going to be approved. So it's just like, which way do I go? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it would be really, really badass to say that I did my own, that I built my own and designed and built my own house. But then also, I just don't know if I want to go through all of that. I really don't. Okay, we are headed out on a walk with the doggos. A new spot that we've been going to that's really pretty. Come on, doggos! I just like...
I got so much serotonin running through my bloodstream, through my brain right now. Literally, what? I love mushrooms so much. Like,
we're just like two high people walking on a trail.
Two naturally high people.
Completely substance free. We have not been eating any shrooms, thank you very much.
We're just maybe a little caffeinated and a little excited about the fresh air and the mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Do not cut this out and make a video out of context from like, I love mushrooms. I really do. They're so beautiful.
Make that a meme. There's, like, it's simple because, like, life is slower here. There's, like, you know, less consumerism and all of that kind of stuff. But the nature is the complex side.
Yeah.
Which is, like, that's what I can handle that.
Really hope these turn out good this time. All right, first bite. This turned out so good.
They're really pretty noodles. Yummy.
Oh my god.
Good job.
I can't believe I did it. I'm so happy. I'm like,
I know. I can believe you did it.
What's up, party people? Oh, I hate that. What's up, everyone? So I feel really bad because in last week's video in the Q&A, I answered questions, but then afterwards I got a lot of questions after I filmed it. So I figured that for the end of this video, I will just answer some more questions because I've been getting a lot of really good questions. Might as well answer them. So I keep getting this question over and over again, and that is, and 9 people liked this question, so at least 10 of you want to know the answer to this. Someone asked, since you two moved to Alaska, do you regret buying the land unseen, and would you have done anything different? I don't regret, in this case, buying the land unseen. We're really happy with the piece of land that we got. The only thing that I would have done differently is probably contacting our contractor, finding a contractor sooner, because we are left now kind of waiting our turn, because this island is pretty small and there's one really good, reliable contractor on this island that can do what we need him to do. And so now we're stuck waiting to see even how much it's going to cost, which we know it's going to be pretty costly. It's going to be several thousands of dollars to get this driveway put in. This next question is, do you miss anything about the lower 48 states? No, not really, if I'm being honest. I really, really like it up here compared to the 48. It's just so much more calm. I guess the one thing that I really miss is maybe the variety of food, or like the diversity of food that you can get up here. We have a Chinese food place, which we haven't tried yet, a pizza place, and like a couple cafes, and that's pretty much it besides seafood that you can get here on the island. Oh, and we have a Mexican place, which is awesome. But yeah, I really miss sushi. But to aid in that, you have to learn how to make food on your own. So thankfully we like cooking, so that's great. And I guess maybe the other thing I really miss is my friends. I mean, I have so many good friends down in the lower 48 that I could easily visit when I was a nomad, but now I can't visit them as easily, and it's like expensive for them to get up here. So that's maybe the biggest thing that I miss about being in the lower 48. But I do not miss being around people. Let's put it that way. I really do not miss it. What keeps you guys motivated to keep going knowing you have such a big journey ahead? Yeah, this is definitely a good question. I think the thing that keeps me personally motivated, I don't want to speak for my mom, but I know that she does kind of feel pretty similarly, is just like knowing what the big picture is for our property, which is having like maybe an Airbnb and then doing some sort of grant program to help families and other people get up here to experience all of this beauty and enjoy it, even though they might be low income. So we want to have like some sort of grant program, and we want to teach people, and we want to give back to the community. So we have like this whole picture, big picture for ourselves. But if you think about like everything that you have to do from now until then, it becomes really overwhelming. So the way I look at it is I think about each step that needs to be done in the process, because if you think of all of it at once, you're going to get overwhelmed. Knowing what our big dream is going to be and its completeness is what's keeping me motivated. Will you go on adventures around Alaska with your Jeep/van during winter? Yes, we do plan on taking a trip to Juneau at some point this winter. There are some really good ski places, ski lodges up there. I really want to try skiing for the first time, so we're going to do that. We probably won't go further north than that this year, but yeah, we want to check all of that out sometime around the holidays probably. Someone says, would love to hear / see the process of preparing for winter. Never been to Alaska, so it's all new and exciting to hear about. Also, if you could come across others that would like to share, sending good vibes and peaceful energies from Albuquerque. Thank you. I am definitely going to be showing the process of getting ready for winter. I won't give away all of our little secrets, but we're doing some ordering of things and talking to lots of locals about what we need and how we're going to get through the winter. What do you use to edit videos? I use Adobe Premiere. And how do you put music in the background? So I use YouTube Live, the free sound library, audio library that they have, and I use Epidemic Sound, which is $15 a month. And yeah, you just splice it together in your editing software, and you can definitely use like iMovie or any of those like more simple editing softwares to start off with. I've just been using Adobe because I wanted to teach myself how to use Adobe, just in case I like ever needed to do any big projects or I could be hired by someone to use it. It's a good skill to have, but if you're new to editing softwares, don't spend money on it. Just use a cheap editing software or a free editing software. What other YouTubers do you watch to get ideas from or inspiration? At the moment, I really love Liziki. I don't know if I'm saying it right. She's a Chinese influencer, and she makes videos about her life on her homestead in China, and I just love her videos so much. They're just so elegantly done. It's really cool to see her turn something like indigo into dye and then ferment the dye and then make clothing. I don't know, she's like ultimate goals. I think she's really cool. Yeah, that's pretty much, I mean, I watch a whole slew of YouTubers, but she's my favorite at the moment. I was wondering if you miss Coco. Would you ever go back to van life if you had a van that can go off-road like your Jeep? I really did contemplate getting a 4x4 like van, a bigger van than Coco, but I ultimately went with a Jeep because there's just something that there's just a different way of travel that you can afford by having something smaller. And when I do eventually finish rigging it out, it'll have like a tent and a more set up kitchen and more gear to get me in and out of back roads. But I really like Jeeps because it's just so much easier to get place to place, and when you're traveling in the style of travel that I like to do, you want to be outside, hiking, doing things in nature instead of staying holed up in your van. So I didn't see any point in spending as much as what like a Sprinter van or a Unimog was going to cost. That's just not my style of travel. I really am happy with the Jeep, but I do miss Coco from time to time. I worked really hard on that van, and yeah, just traveling her really like I grew up a lot traveling in her the past year, so I miss her a lot. But you know, that chapter ends. That chapter has closed, and we're on to something new, bigger and better. And I think it's important to realize that in life things change, and that doesn't mean it wasn't a good time and doesn't mean you won't miss that time. But when things change, it's probably for the better. That's at least how I comfort myself at night when I want to cry tears of sadness because I miss Coco. What did you both study in college? I started off studying ecology initially, getting a bio degree at my college, and I did that for 2 years, and then I started my, then I wanted to double major, so then I started my major in intermediate arts, and ultimately I ended up dropping ecology after I did a fellowship. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't want to be going to school and having to work under the government or a private sector doing like ecology research studies my whole life. So then I just ended up going with intermediate arts, which was a mixture of computer programming, electronic music, videography, circuitry, programming, microcomputers like Arduinos and things like that. And yeah, I just did a lot of programming and sound recording, all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of led me to what I'm doing right now, which is making YouTube videos, which I just love so much. Oh, and then my mom, she got a bachelor's in education and a master's in business. It might be flipped. I can't remember. But she has a master's degree. Have you met any other YouTubers in Alaska? No, I haven't yet. I hope to though. So if that's you and you're a YouTuber in Alaska and you're watching this, drop me a line. Are the land prices fair there? You know, it really ranges and depends on what area of Alaska, and pretty much on our island, there's land here that's really cheap and then land here that's really expensive. It just depends on the location, what kind of land it is, and yeah, how many acres really. Yeah, it just varies. It's kind of like down in the lower 48 too. I'd say there's a whole different slew of price ranges. Is there good healthcare on the island? Yes, there is. We have a clinic that has several beds in it, and if you ever need care that is more extreme, you can be flown out to Juneau because we have an airport here. I'm sure you could probably be flown out anywhere down here to a more major city, but yeah, the healthcare is not bad. I don't know where you're from, but yeah, it'll be expensive because most people here don't have insurance in the US, so that's great. Anyways, yeah, so thank you for asking questions, everyone. If there is a question that I haven't answered in more recent videos, definitely drop a line below and maybe I'll do another Q&A in the next video.